Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome to today's The Circle, where we're going to be talking about the South. This month, we are going through really embodying and connecting with each of the four directions, and as well as going on a guided meditation to be able to help you find your organic sensations within each direction, ending out with the last one being the free circle, where we're going to talk about the full medicine wheel. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and open up the circle. Awesome. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the circle, the medicine wheel south with Granddaughter Crow. Let's set sacred space. So awesome. Welcome into this space. Welcome into this time. I'm going to draw a circle around this circle, declaring this circle as sacred space and a sacred time. I'm going to set my ego to the outside of this circle so I can be a clear conduit for you and for the divine as it reveals itself to you to provide you with wisdom, knowledge, foresight, insight, direction, the direction of the South. So, this is sacred space and a sacred time. Before we begin looking at the topic today, Happy new moon, sun in Pisces, moon in Virgo. This is such a beautiful time because both of those are mutable signs. So it's expansive time. And it's beautiful because with the Piscean energy of dream and consciousness and spirituality, with the oh no, you know what? That would be the full moon. Cut. Let's take it from the top. Welcome to the new moon. Pisces moon, Pisces moon, Pisces sun. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of liquid going on in today. And we also moved our clocks forward. But I found I had this newsletter that comes through, and I wanted to share this with you guys. And it is by 1111 mag or magazine.com. I am Cimarron. I've been on her show and I've written for her magazine, but she had a newsletter that came out today and I wanted to kind of share this with you. She said, let's reestablish with restraint, respect, and reverence. And so I just copied this from her and copied and told you who she is. Restraint of reactivity, of impulsivity, of self indulgence, respect for our world, for one another, and for ourselves, reverence for humanity, for the soul, for the divine within us all that creates the whole body of the earth. I just thought that that was a really beautiful thing, especially if you are aware of the pulses of the political, the social, all of this. There is a huge division within our country. And, it's kind of like, yeah, let's take it from the top, start anew under the new moon with that respect and restraint and all of that kind of beauty. So I thought that she had a wonderful message, and I wanted to show restraint, respect, and reverence. If we can approach the world like this, if we all did, there wouldn't be such a division. There would be dualistic thoughts, but there wouldn't be division within society due to those dualistic thoughts. So, without further ado, let's move forward into the circle. Overall takeaways. Embody the energy of the South. What does South energy bring to you? Your personal medicine wheel of the South. So, first, like we did last time, let's look at the medicine wheel. And like I say, I love this style because the medicine wheel is a spectrum of so many different things. A lot of times when we think of the medicine wheel, we go to, the book and we're like, oh, there's four different directions and they must mean these things. I have to get to know them based on these connotations. And I kind of want to take us out of that thinking and say, oh, the medicine wheel has guidelines to with the four directions, with the four times of day and night, with the four bodies and the elements, and with the east. So, but if you look at this, you will see that it is individualized and it is a spectrum. So just because Granddaughter Crow will see a certain animal or a certain animal kingdom or nation coming from each of the directions doesn't mean that you've got to adopt Granddaughter Crow's way. We are going to kind of tap into this energy to say, what does this energy feel like to you? What does this energy of your personalized medicine wheel feel like to you? So last week we did the East with the morning time and the springtime and the mental body and the air, with a guided meditation to your personal animal totem. And also we kind of branched into, your personal guide and or token within the East. Today, we're really going to solidify the guide and the token in today's meditation, because last time what happened was it just came out in the meditation. I was like, oh, and is there a spiritual guide? And is there something you want to pick up? I'm pre-telling you that's going to be in the meditation this time, which is really good, because I think that again personalizes everything. So what does East mean to you? Now, then today we're going into the South, right around just like clockwork, right? The noon time in the summertime. Start feeling what that feels like. What images come into your mind? We're going to be talking about the spiritual body and the fire element. And we're going to talk about your personal animal totem within the South, as well as potentially a guide and a token that you can take with you. And what does South mean to you? You guys, it's so cute. I guess I'm getting too comfortable because I already saw two different mistakes, and I'm sitting here talking about everything that GDC talks about. But again, thank you, Circle Fan. This is what it looks like behind the curtain with Granddaughter Crow when she is excited about so many things she misspells, which is fine. Okay, now let's get back into the energy. Noon and summer. So think about adjectives that speak to you. How would you describe it? How would you describe noon and summertime? We've got the full light of day. We have active growth within the summertime. And then I stumbled upon a quote from a book, and it said, "The sun shines the brightest when the earth aligns with the light." The sun shines the brightest when the earth aligns with the light. So I'm pretty sure that that's noontime and that's summertime. When the sun is full light, it shines the brightest when the earth aligns with the light. And so it is. We also shine the brightest when we align with the light. Of course, I'm writing a book about the shadow, and I'm not saying only align with the light, but there is a time to perfectly align with the light. And we are the earth, and the sun is the light and the divine. And when we perfectly align, it's hard to find our shadow. It's hard to find anything, but this is the time of active growth. Active growth. And so I really liked this. And it was funny because I read this and I was like, that's brilliant. The sun shines the brightest when the earth aligns with the light. And then I was like, oh, I wrote that. Funny, Granddaughter Crow. I don't know how this happens, but it's so true. That's a statement in Belief Being Beyond. So what does this feel like to you? What does noontime feel like to you? What does summertime feel like to you? In some ways, because I was born, in July, I love the summertime. It's a time of social invitations. It's a time where I get to sit outside. I get to, have picnics out in my backyard. I get to write outside, and I get to just play outside. There's a lot of this feeling of freedom, warmth, beauty, happiness, the light of day. I mean, we're looking at the longest days. It's just so wonderful. So think about that. Write down words of what that means to you emotionally. How does it make you feel emotionally? How does this energy make you feel physically? For me, I feel a sensation of happy, uplifted. You could even see my body stood up. I'm just like, yes, let's go into the summertime. What does it make you think of mentally? So we're embodying south, and it has to do with these things, embodying these things. So when do you shine the brightest is when you align with the divine as it reveals itself to you. Just like noontime, the summertime. So once again, we are here revisiting the four bodies and the earth element and the elements that they correlate to. I think it's really interesting because I really want to talk about that spirit a lot of times, and I think both ways. There is a statement that people say, um, I am a spirit. I live in a body. I have a mind and I have emotions, but I am a spirit. I agree with that. But then there's also this energy that says, well, what if we were also to claim all of the bodies as me instead of I am me and this is a hand? I have a hand. The other way to look at it is I am me and this is not a hand. This is not my hand. This is me too. So there's a difference between that. Instead of I am me and I have two hands, I have 2 feet, I have a head, I have hair. That's a left brain thinking. But if you go into it and go, this is me. This is me. This is me. Embodied me. That gives a lot more right hemisphere, like holistic idea and thinking around it instead of separation. It's holistic. This is me. And in that, we look at the four bodies of existence once again and we see the physical body, then we see the emotional body, then we see the mental body, then we see the spiritual body. So, in that form, what we're doing is we are taking ownership of this is me. And one thing that I really want to say, and we're also extending it to the largest part of us, is our spirit. So, there's another reason why I want to extend this is because I was on social media and I saw there was a little clip. I don't even know who it was, but they said something about working with energy and how you can work with your energy in your auric field going outward to manifest versus working with the energy in your internal field to manifest in here. And I was like, that's brilliant. That flows right along with the four bodies of existence. And so it's taking it and stretching it here. And it's also, there's another thing. When I was little, I was raised very Christianized in my thinking. And in that, um, the lesson that I had learned was you are a spirit and your spirit must align with the divine. And I'm like, okay. And then it's like, but don't trust your mind or your thoughts. The devil works in that playground. Don't trust your emotions. The devil is in that playground. And don't yield to the lusts of the flesh, the physical body. So there's a very polarized thinking that, wow, so I'm a spirit, and then the rest of me is sin. Don't listen to my mind, don't listen to my emotions, and by God, don't do anything that makes my body feel good. And this way of thinking actually erases that. Instead of saying, I am a spirit and I have these things, and then going to the next level saying, well, these things are bad because the devil can influence them, and all of that, and we need to overcome these things. These are our shadow, our mind, our emotions, and our physical body is more like our shadow. This is like, oh no, let's erase that thought and let's go, no, you know what? This is me. This physical is me. It's not something I just have, it's me. My emotions are me. I own them. They have a body. I feed them. I rest them. My mind has a body. It is me. My spirit is me. And in that, it's so healing and empowering. And then if you come from that perspective, then you realize that your spiritual body isn't being under scrutiny and you're taking one body and having to fight the rest, but it's actually loving and in a circle conference around the rest of you. So physical, emotional body is me. This mental body is me. It is my expression. And this spiritual body is what goes all, it encompasses, it encircles me. So, in looking at the spiritual body, we see the fire, we see the beauty, we see the warmth, not like a little don't blow my candle out inside, but as this anointing around all of you. It's really interesting because there was that sign, this little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine. I don't know if you guys know this one, this little light of mine. Don't hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine. That was one of those Christian songs that I was raised with. But now, in the framework that I'm working in with spirit, I'm not like, oh no, this isn't a little light of mine. This girl is on fire. It's like, boom, this is my spirit. And I want you guys to embody the noontime, the brightest light, the brightest honor, the warmest sun in the summer. Knowing that that is your fire of your spirit, and how powerful are you? I didn't know I was going to be singing. I would have la 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 la. Okay, so the spiritual body, yes, it exists within. Yes, it exists without or outside of you. Yes, my spiritual body exists here and here. It is, all of it is encircling me. It's beautiful. So when we move it to here, we are actually stepping into our power. We're stepping into our power. And then I just love this jewelry, is kind of why I did that. It is not bound by space and time. What? It is not bound by space and time. Actually, for me, I say that the physical body, for the most part, is the only one of the four bodies of existence, be it physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, that is bound by space and time. But then I throw in, for the most part, because I've had some experiences where physically I've shown up in two different places. But if you think about it, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body jump through space and time. Your mind will jump through space and time. You could remember what happened when you were young. You could think about what you're going to do tomorrow. You can think about the moon even though you might not have been there. You can think about a whole bunch of stuff. You're not bound. Your emotional body, the same thing. It can feel the emotions that it stirred up. It can feel excitement for what's coming. It can feel the happiness of a beautiful picture of a full moon. And the spiritual body is the same way. It is not bound by space and time. And if you really truly understand that, what kind of magic would you do? I mean, what I do with it is I recall different times in my life when I was hurting or in pain, and I meditate and I go back to that girl out of space and time, and I tell her, I love you. You're going to make it through this. You are amazing. So I jump through space and time to heal myself. Additionally, I will go through a guided meditation when I have a decision that I need to make. And I'm like, well, what should I do? Which way should I go? I will go into a guided meditation, jump through space and time to visit my elder self at the end of my road here and ask her, well, I decided to go back to school, and see what she says. She says, oh, I'm so happy I did that. Well, I decided to have a podcast. That was fun. Well, I decided to stop being Granddaughter Crow. No, don't do that. The wisdom that you need for your life is there if you talk with your older self. The healing that you need for your life is there when you talk to your younger self, and within the spiritual body that can jump through space and time with full understanding intact. Why not do that with your life? I don't know, maybe there's a book in there. It desires freedom and expression. Why didn't I say it has freedom and expression? Because it is because people's spirits can be crushed. People's spirits can be crushed. And so it desires freedom and expression. And as empowering as it is, if a society comes in to where you are and tells you, no, your spirit does not have freedom to express itself. You do not have freedom to express yourself. I've seen people's spirits get crushed. I've had my spirit tested. But now, this girl is on fire. That was a little bit better, right? I'm auditioning. I'm auditioning for you guys. So take care of your spirit, as beautiful and as strong as it is. Remove it from things that crush it or limit it, for it is you. Desire freedom and expression. And once again, it has consciousness and awareness. Consciousness and awareness. So, meditation time. Now is the time where we get to relax. Oh, start breathing in, start breathing out. Do the threefold breath. You can put your fingertips together. You can close your eyes. Find your own rhythm and timing. Hold that breath, and as you release your breath, relax. As you inhale, remember you are in sacred space filled with spirit. As you hold that breath, let it heal any parts of you on a cellular level. As you release that breath, relax. And we are going to go on a journey to find our animal totem, potentially a guide, and a token that represent south, summer, noon, spirit, fire, energy. So go ahead and continue to breathe for just another minute. Now we stand at the top of 5 steps. Let's descend these steps together. So 5, relax 4, relax 3, relax 2, relax 1. We find ourselves in a small but cozy room, very cozy room where there is a table and a coat rack. Let's go over to that table and just set down anything that you're carrying. There is a note above the table and it says, whatever you set here will be taken care of. Signed, the universe, the divine. And as we set those things down, we relax, go over to the coat rack, and you can hang up any hats or cloaks or identities that you have to wear during the day. And when you're ready, let's move over to the door. Before we open the door, we're going to hit the record button so that we remember our full experience. On the other side of this door is south. We are going to venture into the south, your personal south. So when you're ready, one more deep breath. And let's open the door. Step through the door and allow the door to gently close behind you. As you look around, allow the landscape to just shift and settle in. And pay attention to what temperature it is, what's around you. Note what is around you. Begin to move into the south energy. Look around. Notice everything that you can. Take note. For this is what south looks like to you personally. And as we venture south, I'm going to call out to the spirit of an animal to come to you, your personal south animal, personally. As you find and discover this animal, pay attention to what it is doing. Pay attention to, is it showing you something? How is it behaving? Is there more than one? This is your south animal. Look at all its attributes. Next, we're going to do another call. Is there a southern guide here in whatever form it wishes to take? Is there a southern guide here for me? See what comes. Maybe it's a sensation. Maybe it's an element. Maybe there is a deity. And whatever comes, commune with that energy for a few moments. What is it saying to you? Does it give you anything? Or is it just there? Knowing that we will return to this space, I'm going to invite you to look around. Is there a token around here for you? Is there a token? It could be anything. What does the Southern token look like? So now we have the impression of an animal, personal Southern animal, personal Southern sensation of guide or guidance, and a personal token. Of course, you can visit here as often as you wish. You can take some of these with you if they wish to come, because they're yours. Again, look around. Breathe in and say thank you to everything with gratitude. Thank you for everything that came through for you. Remembering you can return. Let's move back over to the door. Let's open the door when you're ready. Remember, you can take things with you if you wish. Let the door gently close behind you. Once again, there is a beautiful crystal glass of water, holy, spiritual, cleansing, beautiful water that's sitting right there. Feel free to drink it. And as you do, you are refreshed, you have health, you have strength, you have clarity. Then when you're ready, we'll go over to the steps. Let's ascend these steps together. So 1, 2, 3. We start re-entering this room. 4 and 5. Now we find ourselves back here in this room on a Zoom call with Granddaughter Crow. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, stretch, drink some water. Hopefully, I'll get some stories about what each of you experienced during that meditation. Feel free to return there at any time, it's yours. Now, let's embody and apply that energy. So, as much as you can this week, I invite you about noontime to face the south. Feel the fire of your spiritual body. Work more, discover more, talk with your animal totem, with your guide, Get to know your token, whatever it is. Apply it so that when you are going through this week, you will get those spiritual lunch for 3 to 5 minutes. Think about where you just were and embody this energy and see if it changes your afternoon. See if it changes your afternoon. If you want, last time we talked about the East. So in the morning, you could face the East and remember that. And then at noontime, face the South and remember that. It'll build. It'll build. Application is up to you, but that is a good way to do it. Overall takeaways. Embody the energy of the South. What does South bring to you? Your personal medicine wheel. Awesome, you guys. It feels like nap time. I'm like, "Ooh." My eyes are still watering from the meditation. Time for the 3 card pull. Awesome. We are in sacred space. We are in sacred time. Pick a number. You want to be in group 1, group 2, or group 3? Let's pull a card for each of you. Group 1. You guys get the owl. You get the grandmother moon. It's beautiful. Self-reflection, inner rhythms, and intuition. In a very interesting way, it really kind of feels like the the medicine wheel and things of the South could be reminding group 1 of who they truly are and their spiritual gifts. And you guys get the dragonfly, which is all about moving into different realms, and all of that. It's very, very spiritual. So maybe what this is doing for you is maybe not necessarily introducing you to the South, but reminding you and placing it in a direction, reminding you of who and what you are and placing it in a certain direction so that you can access it quicker. Ooh, group 2. Look at that. We have creator, we have awareness, co-creation, and change. Ooh, so with group 2, it really feels like, oh yeah, you heard something today that you are going to implement and work with great spirit. Mm, Big changes. You are going to go ahead and make those big changes in life. Applying this spiritual wisdom to the practical experience and changing the practical experience within work, finance, relationship, whatever. Okay, group 3. Ooh, group 3, you get the harvest wheel. I feel like deja vu. You guys get the harvest wheel. So basically, this is more to add on this energy. And it also says that you are coming up to a turning point where you get to be completely you. And it says you are preparing and gathering to go to your next level. And if you are an empath, remember to take time, like the little groundhog does, the little prairie dog, take time to go down, pop up, go down. This is a really wonderful time for you guys because you're actually preparing for your next level of unfolding, just like the lotus. As always, I start the circle and I'm happy I play in the circle, I get serious in the circle, I tease in the circle, and then we do a guided meditation, and I want to take a nap in the circle. So, nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning in to this energy of the South. This is the medicine wheel, the South, the circle with Granddaughter Crow. Like I always love to remind you that I love you and see you on the flippity flip.